Mitt Romney is still trying to explain his position on President Obama's executive order, easing deportation rules for some young people living here illegally. Romney says he supports a long-term solution, but won't answer whether he'd repeal the order if he wins in November. Meantime, Democrats are praising the White House for moving on immigration reform. One of them is Congresswoman Sanchez of California, and she joins me now. And Congresswoman Sanchez, thank you so much for being on the program.
Thanks for having me.
I want to ask you, obviously, the Obama administration had set records for deportations. Does this announcement last Friday nullify that in the Latino community? Do they now view Barack Obama as a friend?
Look, Barack Obama, as president, had worked very hard to do what the Republicans in Congress had asked him to do. Continue to fortify the border, go after employers who legally employ people, and deport criminals, and get some of this done, and he has. And so now we move into the second phase, a more positive phase that says, hey, let's take a look and figure out how people who are innocent in having come to this country, like these young people, and who are working very hard, can stay here. So, of course, the Latino community is embracing this and saying it's about time that we saw the second half. The second half, the part that Republicans said, hey, we would be for this if you do these other things first. So, of course, the Latino community is happy with the president's position now.
Mitt Romney is running a new Spanish language ad touting the economy. Come November, do you think Latino voters will make a decision for president based on who can provide them a better economic future, or who provides immigrants a better chance of succeeding in the United States in a legal manner?
Because our country is a country of immigrants, Latinos and Hispanics are no different than any other group who has come here to the United States. And that is that we want the opportunity to educate our children. We want the opportunity to work hard. We want the opportunity to put our ideas into place and own our own businesses. And I believe that Barack Obama better understands that than does Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney doesn't even want us to be here. So I think that's how the Latino community is viewing it. So I believe that Latinos will vote heartfully and in large masses for President Barack Obama in this November election.
Speaker Boehner had this to say about the president's announcements yesterday. I want to get your reaction after we play it.
But the president's actions are going to be much more difficult for us to work in a bipartisan way to get to a permanent solution. You know, it's the president himself who said over the last couple of years that he couldn't do this. And so the question remains whether he's violating the Constitution.
There is talk on the Republican side of Marco Rubio coming up with his own sort of dream act that could get a bipartisan vote total through the Senate. Do you think that this, do you agree with Speaker Boehner, this could perhaps have been a temporary victory for Democrats right now, but hurt immigration reform in the long haul?
Look, I'll go back to what I said earlier. The Republicans, and I know this because I was the chairman of the Border Security Committee when we held control of the Congress a couple years ago. The Republicans told us, listen, we would want to work towards doing something about people here and about allowing immigrants to be here. But before we can do that, you have to fortify the borders. You have to go after bad employers. You have to deport people. You know what? President Obama did everything that they asked him to do, and now he's turned the corner and he said, okay, I've done that portion. Here's the positive portion. Let's start looking at people and saying, how do we keep them here in this country to help America? To help America. That's the key point. So when Speaker Boehner says, hey, you know, this is going to muddy the waters and this is going to be bad and it's bad blood between us, I just don't believe that that's true.
Lastly, very quickly, you're working on a bipartisan bill to try and keep those that have a specialty in science and math who are immigrants here in the United States to fill the open jobs, the job openings that are needed. Startup 2.0, bipartisan. Tell us about how you see the future of that.
That's correct. I think that we have a good shot at passing Startup 2.0. And what does that say? That says that those people who are here in America, who've been going through our universities, that we need, especially in the STEM, the science, technology, engineering, mathematics arenas, we need them here. Let's help them to stay here and help America in the new innovation that is America, the new way we compete in the economy. And by the way, every time one of those people stays here, the employers put money into a fund that actually goes to help those young people, Americans, in our kindergarten through the 12th grade system to get better educated, to get into those STEM programs. So it's a win-win all around.
Eric Cantor before has expressed some sort of support for this type of thing. Have you talked to him at all real quick?
Eric, I think, will be with us. We have plenty of Republicans who are looking at this.
Interesting.
We're trying to figure out a way to move it through the Congress.
Congresswoman Sanchez, thank you so much for joining us. Take care.
Thank you so much.
As Chuck said,